Level 1, the exposed. The alert comes in at 3:47 a.m. Your monitor throws blue light across the room. A single line of text in a terminal window. Unauthorized access attempt. Port 443. Repeated, fast, automated. You stare at it. You don't know what to do yet. That's the truth nobody tells you at the start. Knowing something is wrong and knowing how to stop it are two completely different skills, and right now you only have one of them. You're 6 weeks into your first IT support role at a mid-sized logistics firm in the financial district. Your badge still feels new. Your desk is the one closest to the door, the one nobody wanted. You escalate the ticket. You follow the protocol sheet taped inside your drawer. You document the timestamp, the IP, the port. You send it up the chain and wait. Nobody calls back until 9 a.m. By then, the breach has already happened. 300 customer records. Gone. Your manager doesn't fire you. He should. Instead, he looks at your documentation and says quietly, "You did this right." That moment reorders something inside you. Not pride, something sharper. You understand now that the system doesn't reward instinct. It rewards process. It rewards proof. You start studying at night, not for a certification, for understanding. Level 2, the useful one. 8 months later, you passed your CompTIA Security Plus. The certificate means less than what you learned preparing for it. You're reassigned to the SOC, Security Operations Center, a room with 12 monitors, rotating shifts, and the constant sound of keyboard clicks. You're the youngest analyst on the floor. Everyone knows it. Your value here is simple. You catch things others miss because you're still afraid of missing things. Fear at this level is a professional asset. You learn the tools, Splunk, Wireshark, Nessus. You run vulnerability scans on legacy systems. You write incident reports. You sit in on meetings where people use acronyms you'll need to look up afterward. You stop looking them up. The hierarchy here is unspoken but rigid. Senior analysts handle the serious alerts. You handle the noise, false positives, misconfigured firewalls, phishing emails from someone's grandmother who clicked something she shouldn't have. But you document everything, every pattern, every recurring anomaly that everyone else has learned to ignore. One Tuesday afternoon, you flag a lateral movement signature that's been sitting dormant for 11 days. Nobody noticed. You noticed because you'd seen a similar pattern in a SANS report at 1 a.m. 3 weeks earlier. The senior analyst checks your work, checks it again, calls the CISO. It's a real intrusion, advanced persistent threat, nation-state level tooling. Your name gets mentioned in the post-incident review. Not publicly, internally, but that's the currency that matters here. Level 3, the trusted set. They give you credentials now, not the shared credentials everyone uses. Individual access, elevated permissions, a separate Slack channel with 7 people in it. You're a mid-level threat analyst, $94,000 base, access to systems that most of your floor doesn't know exist. You handle the cases that don't go into the public ticketing system. This is where you first understand that organizations have 2 security operations happening simultaneously, the visible one and the real one. The real one doesn't follow the same documentation rules. The real one makes decisions based on business risk, not pure security principle. Sometimes a vulnerability stays open because patching it would require downtime that costs more than the breach would. You are asked to agree with a risk acceptance form on a critical infrastructure exposure. The CISO signs it. You co-sign it. You don't ask questions. That night, you drive home and tell yourself it's above your pay grade. That's how rationalization begins, quietly, reasonably, in the car. Level 4, the operator. You're running red team exercises now. Your title says Senior Security Engineer. Your real function is to think like an attacker. You're paid to break things before someone else does. You're given a target environment, a 2-week window, and instructions to document every path to crown jewels. You find them, every time. The work is technical, but the skill is psychological. You're not just learning how systems fail, you're learning how people fail, how trust gets exploited, how one phishing email to the right executive assistant can unravel a $4 million security stack. You lead a team of 3. You stop explaining everything. You start assigning. Power at this level isn't about what you know, it's about what you decide not to share. Information becomes architecture. You distribute it strategically. A junior analyst on your team asks you a question you could answer in 30 seconds. You redirect him to the documentation instead. You don't fully understand why until later. Level 5, the insider. You're in the room now. Not always, but often enough. The room where the business decisions get made alongside the security decisions. The room where a potential acquisition gets discussed, and someone asks you whether the target company's infrastructure is a liability. You spend 4 days inside their systems under a legal due diligence agreement. You find 3 critical 0 days and a shadow IT network the board doesn't know exists. You write the report, you deliver it to 2 people, the general counsel and the CISO. The acquisition proceeds anyway, at a lower valuation. Your findings got used as a negotiating tool. You realize you've become a resource in a transaction. This doesn't anger you. It's more unsettling than anger. It means your expertise has a function you didn't design, that others are navigating around your conclusions, that truth in this ecosystem is negotiable. You make $163,000 now. You haven't taken a full week off in 2 years. Level 6, the authority. Your title is Director of Threat Intelligence. You run a team of 19 people. You report to the CISO. You sit on the Executive Security Council. You present to the board twice a year. Your decisions have direct financial consequences. A call you made last March to isolate a compromised segment before full confirmation saved the company an estimated $11 million in potential regulatory fines. That number is in your performance review. You speak less. Everyone notices. When you do speak, the room adjusts. You've stopped befriending people at work. Not intentionally, but accountability changes chemistry. The people who report to you cannot fully relax around you. You feel this. You've accepted it. Your old SOC manager sends you a message on LinkedIn congratulating you. You write a 2-sentence reply and feel nothing in particular. The psychological cost at this level is subtle. You still believe in the mission, but you no longer feel it the way you did at 3:47 a.m. with that first alert. It's become a system you manage rather than a purpose you serve.
Level 7, the architect of consequence. You consult now, not for one organization, for 7. Some Fortune 500, 2 federal agencies, 1 you cannot name publicly. Your rate is $800 per hour. Clients book you 4 months out. You fly business class to places you cannot discuss under NDA. The work is strategic. You're not patching vulnerabilities anymore. You're shaping how organizations think about adversarial risk at the board level. You design frameworks. You influence policy. A threat model you co-authored is now referenced in 3 federal guidelines. You know things about national infrastructure vulnerabilities that most sitting senators do not. This knowledge is heavy, not in a dramatic way, in a persistent, low-frequency way that follows you into restaurants and hotel rooms and quiet Sunday mornings. Your peer group has shrunk to 11 people globally who operate at your level. You speak to 4 of them regularly. Trust is not assumed. It is constructed carefully over years of verified discretion. You have no office. You have no fixed schedule. You have no manager. You have never been more powerful or more alone. Level 8, the unseen hand. Nobody announces your name in rooms anymore. They don't need to. You've moved past the phase of visible authority into something quieter and more permanent. You're embedded in the architecture now. Your frameworks are running inside systems you'll never touch again. Your methodologies are being taught in security programs at 3 universities without attribution. You sit on an advisory board. You make a single call once a month that shifts budget priorities inside a $2 billion cybersecurity program. You remember everything you've compromised to arrive here. The risk acceptance form you co-signed in year 3. The breach you downgraded from critical to high because a VP asked you to. The contractor you didn't defend loudly enough when he was right. None of it destroyed you. That's what surprises you now. You thought the moral weight would accumulate into something breaking. Instead, it calcified. You are precise, effective, and emotionally distant from what you do. You check your phone less, sleep longer, ask fewer questions about outcomes. The system runs. You serve it in ways that no longer require your belief in it. Somewhere in a city you've flown through a dozen times, a junior analyst is staring at an alert on a monitor at 3:47 a.m. Unauthorized access. Port 443. Repeated. Fast. He doesn't know what it means yet. He escalates the ticket. He follows the protocol sheet. He documents the timestamp, the IP, the port. He thinks that doing it right is enough. He thinks the system rewards the careful ones. He will learn what it actually rewards. And by then, he won't be the same person who sat down at that desk. Neither were you. The monitor glows. The alerts keep coming. The system continues.